So, hello, Morten Anderson.
Hello.
So, I'm very excited to interview you, who is a business empowerment coach who transformed his life from being a stressed out company owner to achieving true freedom through a smart entrepreneurship. So, you're the first one of my series of 4P interview. So in a 4 parts, so we're going to see actually the problem that you've experienced through your business journey, because you were very successful, and the pathway to the true freedom, and to see the public you want to help, and the plan. So
All right.
first of all, I'll let you present yourself before we start with the big problem you had to face.
All right. Well, yeah, as you said, my name is Morten Andersen. I am from Norway, live in Norway. And I am a father and a grandfather. Just found a new amazing girlfriend, and we are moving together now in our new home just a couple of months from now. So yeah, I'm happy.
Great. And so you were actually the owner of an engineering company, very successful, who had more than 100 employees, an operation in 25 countries, but though you felt trapped actually. So what happened to you?
Yeah, that's right. Originally, I'm an engineer in electronics and IT, computers and stuff. So I started my working career as an engineer, doing programming and electronic development, things like that. And after a while, I wanted to do something more. So I started my first company in the 90s. That grew to about 100 employees. We needed to have investors, big offices, all of that stuff. And that was really interesting in the beginning. I really feel that I am like an entrepreneurial type of person. It's always intrigued me to create something and not just be an employee. However, that story also have a backside, because it's really hard. So after some years doing that, I ran into a hard burnout, to be honest. Lots of responsibility, and being responsible to pay 100 employees every month and so on, that's a tough thing. Even though it was successful, it's still really tough, and I decided that this is not the way I want to live my life, the rest of my life.
So the biggest challenge you experienced during this time, I guess, was stress, lots of stress. Is that correct?
Yeah, stress is one thing, and then it's the pressure from investors, from employees, from customers, and so on and so on, all of these things. And also in this situation, being creative and making sure everything works really well, coming up with new ideas, and so on and so on. It's very interesting, and it can be too much after some years, to be honest. So this is some years ago. It is. So I decided that I didn't want to work with that anymore. So I started with another business model in, I think, 2001. However, stupid me, I ran into the same challenge one more time. So I felt that I wanted to go back to that business, engineering business. So I started a smart home company again in about 2010. And again, really interesting, really fun. And then we grew, and employees and all of that stuff. And then I was sort of back to the same situation. So yeah, so I like to be an engineer. An entrepreneur. But I found that it has its negative sides as well. So I'm really happy what happened in, I think it was 2013 or something like that. Yeah, about that. I had been called up from an American friend of mine She had called me every year for about 5 years and asking me if I wanted to take a look at her business. But of course, I was really busy. I was not open for anything else. But she called me once a year for 5 years. And the fifth year, 2013, I felt this pressure again, and I felt that this is not the way I want to live the rest of my life. So I had no idea what she was going to tell me. But I said, yes, okay, I'm open to meet you at least, to hear what you have to say. And that was the beginning of a new phase in my life. And I'm really happy that I took the chance and listened to her that time, back then.
That's great. So this is your pathway to now a life of freedom and well-being. Actually, I've seen some pictures of you 9 years ago when you started. You look like younger now. So
Thank you.
it's very impressive.
Yeah, I actually feel younger also, and that's a really cool thing actually. But yeah, it's 9 years ago. It is. And you know, I met with her. Her name is Trish. I met with Trish and her husband Bob. They were traveling from the US, so they were in Oslo, Norway, just for a couple of days. And I met them at the hotel. So we were sitting there in the restaurant at the hotel, and I asked them, what is it that you want to show me? And they started to talk about this American company that had spent about 10 years to develop to do some research and develop some really interesting health technologies.
Mm.
And of course, health is always, of course, very interesting. I really want to have a good health and so on. So I listened to them, but I understood that what they were talking about was something I had never ever heard about before. So it was like, what is this? This is not something I have read about or something my doctor has told me or something like that. This is for something new. I remember she called it redox signaling molecules. What's that? But they talked about that, and they talked about their own experience with the product, how it had helped them and so many other people. So that created a spark of interest to be honest. And I was immediately thinking about a few challenges I had, and I was thinking maybe it could also help me. I remember they asked me to watch one video. So when I went back from the hotel, and the next day I watched a short video, I think it was 19 minutes long, that they sent me. And that video was called The Genesis. And it was the genesis or the creation of that product, that technology. So in the beginning I thought, well, maybe this technology is something artificial, something a company has created. But what it turned out was that it's really not. It's something that every cell in our body is developing and creating all the time. And it's a fundamental part of being healthy. And if we don't have these molecules produced every second in our body, then we couldn't live at all. So when I understood that this is a very, very natural thing, and without it we will just die immediately, or we couldn't live, and it's something that is, I mean, every cell, and not only humans, but plants, animals, everything that has a cell, they produce these molecules for the cells to be healthy. And when I understood that, I was curious about, okay, so if this is a natural thing, how come this company has spent 10 years doing research and developing a product? If it's a natural thing, couldn't we just get it from I don't know, an animal or a plant or something? It turns out it's a little bit more complicated than that. So this company have managed to recreate the same molecules that our cells are producing in a 100% natural way, so that they can give it to us in the form of a drink and a gel to put on the skin. That was what I learned from that video and from that research studies that I read and so on back 9 years ago.
That we will put actually in the description as a link, so that people can also discover it, and maybe they will have the same successful pathway of you towards freedom, real business freedom.
Yeah, I really recommend to watch that video because it was very interesting and it has totally changed my life. As you see, now I am not sitting in a big office with 100 employees around me. That's over. Luckily, I'm sitting at home. This is my home office. It's just a small office, and I'm doing my business from here based on those technologies the technologies that we talked about. I've been doing that for 9 years now, and it has given me, as you say, a very different degree of freedom. Being able to have a business that actually, well, I have partners and I have colleagues in now about 30 countries. And I have that without having any employees at all. I have a company in America that produces and distributes these products directly to the customers, directly to other people like me in these 30 countries without me having to do anything with the logistics or anything like that. So the company takes care of everything that has to do with research and production and distribution and all of those things. They even create my online store. And what I have to do is to, well, basically talk to people, tell them about my experiences with the product and how this can also turn into a great business like it has done for me and for thousands of others. And for me, this is the ideal way of working. To be honest, it is. Sometimes people tell me that it must be lonely. I mean, you used to be in an office with 100 employees and stuff like that. Well, every day I'm talking to many people, especially on Zoom, like we are talking right now. And it's like, this is a new way of working. It's so much easier, and I can sort of, I can use my time the way I want to use my time. If I want to sleep longer, I just don't take meetings in the morning when my girlfriend is not, she's working shift. So sometimes she's working at night, sometimes she's working at daytime. So I can adjust my schedule to her schedule. And that, I never had that opportunity before. So it has given me a lot of freedom, to be honest. I really like it.
It sounds like paradise, like my background. That's really nice.
Yeah. You look like you are sitting in Bali or something, or Hawaii or something. I'm just sitting in an office in Oslo or a home office.
But actually, the great thing with this business is that we could be actually on a beach in Hawaii and be able to do this business. So now, as a business empowerment coach, because now it's a bit your work with your partners, which public do you feel more passionate about helping right now?
You know, this company, what we work with, has two sides. One side is what the product can do for people. And that is actually a lot. I've had lots of personal experiences with the product and people that are very close to me that has gotten a much better life because of the product. I mean, talking about health-wise, in terms of energy, in terms of actually younger looks for that matter, things like that. So that is one thing, really helping people to feel better and to be more energetic and all of those things. But for me personally, since I have this entrepreneurial mindset, I really like to work with entrepreneurs, meaning people that don't necessarily even know that they are an entrepreneur, but I always felt like they wanted to do something more. They always felt like, yeah, I have this job now. I need to be at my workplace 8 o'clock in the morning, and I need to go back home at 4 or 5 in the evening, sitting in traffic and all these things. But is this really what I want for the rest of my life? People that are starting to question these things and thinking that, maybe life is more. Maybe I can do something more. Maybe I could develop myself, and maybe I can create something big, and maybe I can earn a lot more money, and maybe I could go to Bali or Hawaii or wherever and things like that and have that extra freedom. Those are the people I like to work the most with, people that wants to create something from nothing to create a better life for themselves and for their families and for so many others. So people that has that mindset and that vision, those are the people I really like to work with.
Great. So if there are some of these people listening to us right now, what would be the next steps for them? The plan to get to this paradise life that you are
I think that the very first thing they should do is to be in contact with you, Martin, to call you or send you a message or something, and to set up a meeting with you. I think you probably don't need more than maybe 5-10 minutes with them in the beginning, maybe 15 minutes, just to get to know each other a little bit, and so that in your case you can tell them a little bit about well, I'll answer some questions and tell them a little bit about it. Then after that, I know you will be sending them some videos, for example the video we just talked about, and maybe a few others. It can be a product related video so they know how they can get better health. It can also be videos that explains more about the business, how they can go from nothing, just spending a couple of hours, maybe 3, 4, 5 hours a week, and building themselves up to earning, for example, let's say $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month or whatever. And that's a starting point, right? And talk a little bit around that, and you can send them a few videos around that. And when they have watched those videos, they probably have a lot of questions. And in that case, you take a new meeting with them and answer all the questions. And then they will find out maybe it is for them, maybe not. This is not for everybody, absolutely not. But for the people that really wants to make a change in their lives, wants to have a workplace in Bali or something like that, wants to make a difference for a lot of people, and maybe are a little bit tired of their current situation, this is definitely worth looking at. At least it has been for me, and I know it has been for you too, Martin.
Yeah. It sounds a great plan, actually. Yes, I love this business, but this is your interview right now, so we are talking in English, actually. And but you are from Norway, I'm from France, and maybe the people who are listening to us can be then from all the places around the world, because English is the international language. Are all these entrepreneurs, mindset people, good fit for this business all around the world, or only some countries? Can some people from certain countries come?
Well, our company has distribution to about 33, 34 countries. We're opening a few more countries, so within 2025 it will be about 40 countries. So if you are in one of those 40 countries, then this is definitely something you should look into. And the countries include, of course, countries in North America, very many countries in Europe. I'm not sure, maybe 20 countries something in Europe, and some countries in Asia, and Australia. So it's actually, we have a more or less worldwide market, at least in those 40 countries. So yeah, I recommend just send a message to Martine and ask her.
Great, yeah, I've seen today that even Philippines actually are part of the market. So Philippines, Indonesia, yeah. So it's pretty big.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things. I have always liked to work internationally, and so my engineering company back then, we made products for the big mobile telecom operators. So we had, I think, customers in about 25 countries. Today, I am running my part of my company from this home office, and I have now associate partners in about 30 countries. So it's more than back then. And that's interesting, actually, because when I started with this business 9 years ago, I told maybe about 20 friends that I had here in Norway about the business. 10 of them said that, wow, this is really interesting. They wanted to start. And from those 10, it has sort of grown to first to Sweden, to Germany, to America, to different places. And today, there are people in my team in about 30 countries. So that's very interesting to actually have an international business. So it doesn't really matter where you are from or which language you speak, because everything is translated anyway, and everything is available in native languages in most places. I mean, if you're in France or in Finland or in the Philippines, it doesn't really matter, because all the resources are available for you anyway, and all the products have description in the local languages, and they are approved for being sold in those countries, and so on, so on. It's an amazing way to run an international business.
Great, thanks a lot, Morten, for this testimony. Do you have something else you want to add for completing this interview, or do you just want to?
Well, I think it's the thing is that this has changed my life a lot. That's why I am really enthusiastic about it. And I know that you who are listening to this interview, you might feel that my life is perfect, everything is fine. And if that's the case, just continue with whatever you are doing. That's all good, but still take a look at the products, because we all get older. We all have the possibility to get sick. We all could need some help to stay as healthy as possible, as long as possible. So in any case, take a look at the products. I really, really recommend it from my heart, because this is life-changing. When it comes to the business, if you feel that you might be ready to do something else or something in addition, if you have the need to, let's say, earn like 500 euros extra a month or something like that, or you want a new career or something in between, then take a look. Also, contact Martin and just take a look at this, because I think you will be amazed, and I think you will, after a while, see how life-changing this can be, and how many people's life you can help to change through this. So that's my strong recommendation. Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Morten. I can add a little anecdote about this, actually, because thanks to this great product, my cat, who is 16 years old and who was dying, he used to be a quite big cat, and people were a bit laughing at him because he was a bit greedy or gourmet. And at the end, he was like only weighing 3 kilos, which is very few. And here we could feel his bones, and I was very sad. So I went to the vet, and we made lots of analysis, and this costed lots of money, actually. We spent like almost 300 euro for all this analysis and everything. And actually, at the end, the vet was pretty pessimistic. He told me at this age, cats have thyroid problem, and he wasn't sure, actually, he could survive, and maybe it was the end. So I was crying at the end of this meeting with the vet, and so I decided to give it this product that you will be able to discover if you listen to us. And my cat now, it was 3 months ago, it was in July. So we are in December. So yeah, it's 5 months ago. And now my cat is very healthy. He has got back his a good weight, not too much, and he has no problem anymore. So I'm so happy. So even if you have an old animal and you want to give him extra life, healthy and good life, so it could be also a good solution.
So it works on everything that has cells, apparently, not only humans, but animals as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is so cool. Yeah, I know that. I've seen so many animal stories as well, in addition to humans. So yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you very much, Morten, for this testimonial. And I hope it will inspire lots of entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs to join your wonderful team. which I've joined also recently.
That's great. Thank you so much. Great to be here, Martin. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.